Hello, hi. How are you? Coming back to the Torah portion called Korach. We've been studying this one for some time now. Korach was cousin of Moses. And when Moses chose Aaron as a high priest, Korach goes and complains it. He says, Moses, listen, we are all the same community. We are all the holy people. We are all same equal as Aaron. Why would you want to choose Aaron especially? Why not me and why not us? This was the argument of Korah to Moses. And Moses was really, was kind of, astonished by this Korah and his people. So Moses was telling, let's go and do something, and then we'll try to finalize the issue. So Moses was asking him, there were a couple of explanations in this one. Moses was asking Korah to bring the incense offering, and let Aaron bring the incense offering. And whoever's offering or incense offering is accepted by God, then we'll move from there. So it was a challenge given to Korah. And also there is another explanation which says that, however, Moses used the word when he went after telling this one to Korah. Moses go to God, and Moses pleads God, and he asked God, God, please don't turn on them. Please don't turn on Korah and his members. Meaning that Moses is a fantastic, phenomenal person who is a very good example of every leadership under the sun. He was representing the whole Jewish people. He was representing the whole Jewish nation. He concerned about the Jewish people all the time. We have seen in his life path that he was fighting for the Hebrew man, and he was, he ran away from the palace and he came back, and then also he was a tool to brought all these Jewish people out of their bondage. So Moses was a leader who completely offered himself for the people. So Moses again, he goes to God and asks him, God, please don't turn on them. Meaning, it's not turning on their offerings, but about them itself, Korah and all his members, all his men. And the other way of interpreting this one was, they were offering every single day. There was offerings were made in the temple. There were so many offerings were made in the temple. One of the offerings was called communal offering. This communal offering, people usually they give half a shekel or 1 shekel in each and every year. And this shekel of money was put into the communal offering, meaning it is collectively given by everybody. So you cannot separate that this offering is from this fellow or this person or this group. It is a collective, whatever the group of Jewish people were there, whatever the denomination they had inside them, but they were offering a communal offering. So this was the one that when Moses was, telling to God, do not accept or do not turn their offerings, or do not accept their offerings. But we knew very well already, Korah and his men, when they were about to do the offerings, what happened? The earthquake happened. The earth opened up. All his men were swallowed in, and it was consumed by the earth. And the big fire was consumed, and all the offerings which was offered there. So what I'm trying to say is that, again, they were brought back up. These were the people, those who really have seen the hell and came back and saw the other, the earth and other people. So this is a very fantastic, but Moses was asking them, Moses was pleading to God, God, please don't turn on them. Meaning, they were doing some mistakes. They were against you. I know each and everyone individually, but please don't turn on them. And so that, whoever was doing mistakes in that community, God was actually, expiring their souls. The souls were getting expired. Even in the high holy place, it happened several times. So the same way, Moses knew that God probably, he would take their souls, he will kill their souls. So he was pleading them, do not turn on them, just to, turn on their offerings. And obviously, what happened in the final? Whatever the offerings they have made, even though these offerings were communally, is collectively individual or individually collective. That's what Moses was. When he was representing for the Jewish people, he was representing for all of them. Every individual was inside him. He knew everything about the Jewish people and the nation and themselves. So he was representing them. So as a leader, he was completely, thoroughly, he was just like representing their minds. He knew their minds and he knew God's mind also. He was in between balancing God's expectation and the people's desires. So the leadership position, that's what the Moses was doing over there. And when God consumed finally the fire, and there was some dark place was left without consummation. That told Korach and his people that their offerings were not accepted. Even though they were accepted, they were giving the communal offering, there was some left unconsumed. It represented that Korach's offerings were not accepted. But they did went through the punishment of going into hell and coming out of that hell. Folks, today, as we walk outside, as we go out in the field, in the kingdom of God, we must represent always unity, in a collectively, we are the representatives of the soldiers, of the warriors of the kingdom of God. Not individually. You cannot represent I myself. So you cannot flourish yourself. Yes, it is me, it's mine, I hard worked and I did this one, this is what me. We cannot do that. When we are collectively, when we are representing, we are going to do a collectively individual person. When you represent individually, you're going to represent collectively every one of your brothers to the outside world. It's not like what we think, what we operate today. The world is not operating today like that. The world is operating in a very different way, individually. They want to achieve their goals individually. They want to, make sure that their desires are met individually. But in the Jewish world, the expectations Moses was giving a fantastic, phenomenal importance to their nation, to his nation, representing God collectively, individually, and individually collective. So that's what it is. Korach, even though he rebelled against Moses, Moses was teaching him a lesson by pleading, God, please do not turn to them on. How many of us we represent like today? If we do anything, if we come, even I'm seeing in the church position, in other places, it is always fighting each other. We don't want to give up because our individuality, our ego, our individualness, solo, filled heart. This is me and everything is mine. I want to be the first. I want to be, the best of all. I want to achieve the best of all. I want to pose myself. This pride, this selfishness, it always filled in our community nowadays. We must learn from Moses to represent our kingdom, our God's kingdom. In these last days, collectively individual and individually collective. I'll come back with another thought of some of the portions next time. Until then, be safe, be good. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.